everyone, this is Yolanda here and welcome back to my channel. So I'm here with week 3's digital detox video. A little late, but nevertheless, here we are. Not much change in week 3. It was actually very similar to week 2. My screen time and pickups went up slightly by about 5%. I realized, so I thought that pickups were when I unlocked my phone to access the apps and things, but it's not. Pickups are actually every time I touch my phone. So even if I just want to look at the home screen while it's still locked, while my phone is still locked, and just like check to see if I have any notifications, that's a pickup. I was wondering like why my pickups were so high because it didn't feel like I was opening my phone that often, but finally went and did a little research and realized that every time you basically touch your screen or bring up the home screen, whether you unlock the phone or not, is considered a pickup. So that's why they're so high. So now I'm not so worried. I mean, I guess I'm still checking my phone more than I would like to, but a lot of times I'm just looking at it to see if I have a notification. I guess I should stop worrying if I have notifications. We'll put it like that. During week 3, the weekend of Martin Luther King Day, so from the 18th or 17th to the 20th, I binged Netflix and Hulu all weekend, didn't do anything, stayed in the house except for like one time going out, and it was just a really lazy weekend. I was not alone binging Netflix. I had company. Felt like I haven't had one of those weekends in months where I just sit there and do nothing all day. I don't really regret it. And also, you know, it still meets the qualification of social interaction because as we were binging Netflix, me and my boyfriend, you know, we talked about different topics and subjects. So we were still having a real conversation in the midst of binging the TV shows. I do think though that I will limit Netflix to the weekends. So I think I'm going to give myself a few hours, maybe like 3 hours per day. So Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. And then Monday through Thursday, like I said, I won't watch it. I haven't been doing journaling either. I basically stopped that. And I think it's because I'm writing so much during the day for this grant that I'm applying for that journaling doesn't even cross my mind. But I have, speaking of the project, you know, I've definitely been keeping up with my reading. My books for this week are The Road to Jim Crow, The African American Struggle on Maryland's Eastern Shore, 1860 to 1950. This book has actually been really good. It's more so about the political life and status of Black people during this time. So right before the Civil War up until the first decade or so of the 20th century. But it's been good for me because it mentions people that I've never heard of before, and also it mentions some Black towns and neighborhoods that I've never heard of before. So I've been getting a lot of information from this book. It's interesting to read about the political stuff also, but like I said, I'm less interested in that and more interested in some of the other information that I'm picking up from this. And then Children of Virtue and Vengeance. This is part 2 in the series. The first one was Children of the Blood and Bone. It was good. I don't know if it was just as good. I don't know if it was as good as the first one, Children of the Blood and Bone, but it was definitely still good. Definitely still a page turner. I finished this in less than a week. I need to return it actually to pick up a new book. So I've been doing that, plus continuing the other book, The African American Book of Values, that I talked about in previous videos. An oral history book that I was reading that I'm getting tired of. I think I'm going to return it. And then another book that I picked up. This is technically going into week 4, but I'll share it, is The Underground Railroad by William Still. This is all the records of all the people who used the Underground Railroad to escape. And I picked this up because I wanted to read about the people who escaped from Maryland and Virginia and Delaware, the Eastern Shore, to see if I recognized any of the surnames given by these people. And last night, right before I went to bed, I read a record account of a James Massey who escaped from Massey Crossroads, I think it's called. So my maternal grandfather is a Massey, his mother was a Massey, and they're from Queen Anne's County, and we always assume there's a town in Queen Anne's County called Massey, so we've always assumed that a slave owner owned our family at some point in this time, and that's where we got the name Massey from. So I was so excited to see the name James Massey in this account. So it gives his name. It says that he left behind some brothers and sisters, some other relatives, and it also gives the name of the person who owned him, which was Pittman, I think. So that's exciting because now I have some data that I can use when I get ready to go to the courthouses and the archives. I have some data that I can use to find to see if this person is actually one of my ancestors. So that's pretty exciting. I'm going to keep reading, but I think I'm going to end up returning this one. And there are lots of books with these records published. Some of them break them down by like states and regions. So I know there's another book that just has Maryland, Delaware, and Virginia in it. So I think eventually I'm going to return this and get that book so that I can more quickly go through the records and see if I find any other names that I recognize. That's been good. Work on the application is good. I'm almost finished the grant. I've been working on the narrative this past week. I did schedule dentist appointments and my annual physical, so that's great. I didn't work on much art during week 3 because I've just been focused on getting this grant together, this application together, because it's due February 5th. So my plans for the final week, which technically we are in the final week right now as I record this, but I'm going to try to record week 4's video maybe Thursday or Friday, and then it'll go up Monday or Tuesday next week. So for week 4, obviously I need to finish this application. I need to contact the people who I'm asking to provide me letters of recommendation. The reason why I waited so long to do that is because the recommendation letters are not due with the application. They're due like almost like 20 days or 3 weeks afterwards. Continue reading, make some more art. I did make some art that, like I said, it's technically we're in week 4, so the art that I have made is part of week 4. But I think I'm going to do a little series for Black history highlighting some of the less well-known figures that I found in my research. And then I did start decluttering some of my emails, but I need to still do a thorough declutter. I'm also going to be preparing to go to Kansas. So I'll be going to Kansas for 3 weeks in February to visit my friend and teammate. So I need to start preparing for that. I also need to visit my public library. So the one in my county, Caroline County, the Central Library. I need to visit the Central Library in Talbot County, which is in Eastern Maryland, because they have some books that I need to look at that are non-circulating. So I have to go there to view them. So I need to do that probably later this week. I still don't miss social media. You know, I was having a little bit of anxiety. I'm having sort of anxiety about bringing social media back. But when I do week 4's videos, I will list out all of my rules for reincorporating social media that will hopefully ease some of that anxiety. So that's it. This video was brief in comparison to some of the others. Again, I hope you all are still doing well. I hope that my videos are giving you encouragement to make the changes that you need in your own lives, particularly when it comes to digital media. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.